7 o'clock.
Brown. This is,
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, here.
perfect, that's it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Okay, roll call, please.
Commissioner Dixon?
Here.
Commissioner Weeding?
Here.
Commissioner Walsh?
Here.
Commissioner Michael?
Here.
Mayor Lyons?
Here.
We have a quorum.
All right. Public comment. First thing on the agenda is public comment. Anybody here for public comment? Okay, we'll move on. Approval for minutes. I need a motion for approval of minutes for our rescheduled meeting that was on Thursday, March 12th, 2026. And again, our regular meeting that was rescheduled due to weather conditions. Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion.
Go ahead.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Weeding?
Yes.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, next up on the agenda is gonna be reports by city officials. I'm gonna combine mine and city management consultant. Steve, he is, not here currently, he's out of town. So looking over his report, the first thing on his report would be the beautification committee. We're in the process of revamping the beautification commission. Sarah and Steve have met with, Karen and Dana Morgan to discuss the future of the commission. Currently, there's a draft of a new ordinance and bylaws that will be presented to the council in April. Tentatively, the planning for the downtown flower pots is scheduled for April 25th. And next on his report is the mechanic shop right there on Division Street. The building permit is expired, and we're placing a stop work order on the project. It appears that the construction of the building that he is not constructing the building as per the approval plans. In addition, the owner has been notified that the grading and the concrete work is improper and the portions need to be replaced. We have a meeting scheduled with them, so we're all trying to get on the same page with that project. There is well number 1, a new issue has been detected. Additional pipe is needed because we need to install the pipe deeper into the well. Anticipation completed date has not been determined. Hopefully, it'll be within the next week to 10 days. New truck signs. The chief and Steve, they have met to discuss placements of truck signs. That way it's clear that there's no trucks. Maybe Dale, you've been involved in a little bit of this. They're gonna get the ones that are lit up, that have like solar panels on it.
No, I
Signs.
haven't, but.
They're gonna put some no truck signs, because that's one of the complaints that we get in town. So the chief and Steve, they're trying to get the locations. I think they have 9 or 10 spots where they wanna put them at.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. Yeah, something about the CDL training, I guess a couple of the new employees, they need CDL training. That's in the works now. We worked on boundary agreements, we met with Braceville's mayor and Wilmington's mayor, so we're working on boundary agreements with that. Marketing new developers, so process of creating and marketing a packet for proposed developers. This packet will include workforce numbers, current commercial and retail developments, and maps of current open property. So that's one of the projects that Steve's working on to kind of promote growth in Braidwood. Okay, so that's, next up is clerk.
Nothing to report tonight, Mayor, thank you.
Okay, next, engineer.
I have 2 items, Mayor. I have one, Resolution 26-3, which is authorizing and approving certain purchase of rock salt for the state of Illinois for the 2026-2027 winter season. We get a email that comes to the city requesting if you want to participate in the CMMS, which is basically the aggregated purchase plan essentially with the state of Illinois. Application's been put together, but again, we need resolution from, if the city wants to actually participate in that CMS. So this will basically put you on the list. You've acknowledged that you want to be part of that. They'll go out to bid, and then you get some documents later on when the actual bids come in. And that's what we've been doing for the last several years. Currently, the current program, I think it's $70.31, what we've been getting salt for per ton. We're hoping we'll get favorable bids again this year for the upcoming year.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 26-3.
Second.
Commissioner Reading,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Dixon,
Yes.
Commissioner Michael,
Yes.
Mayor Lyons,
Yes.
motion carries.
And the next one I have is a resolution 2617. It's an ordinance approving and authorizing the city of Braidwood to enter into, and the mayor to execute a proposal for professional engineering services with Robinson Engineering. And this is for flow monitoring for the sanitary sewer system. Back in 2006, there was a study that was done. The city identified some issues in some areas that needed to be repaired. They went out and actually identified and repaired some of the manholes that were leaking and everything else. The city still has significant levels of I&I, which is basically rainwater and runoff that gets into the storm sewer. It's being treated down in the plant. What happens is it dilutes everything else, which is one of the reasons why the city's currently using, we get a lot of septic discharges and dump off there, which actually helps the plant to run better because, again, we have such diluted flow. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to identify where that water's coming from and start targeting repairs in those areas again. It's been 20 years since anything's been done, so this is a proposal basically to get the flow monitors in the ground. The idea, there's 2 times a year you really want to do it. It's spring and fall. Fall creates problems because you get leaf debris and everything else, and sometimes you don't get the rains if you have a long, hot, dragged out summer. So really, spring is the ideal time to get your flow monitors in the ground. And what happens is the flow monitors will recognize when there's a rainfall, you'll see a spike in a particular basin where you're getting a lot more water than you should in a base flow condition. And that gives you an idea where you can prioritize, and we'll target those areas to then follow up with manhole inspections, cross connections, things along those lines, and then actually put a plan together to target and address those. So this is a proposal basically to start that process, get the flow meters in the ground, recognizing that this is something as part of the budget for next year. You know, we'll get the meters in the ground, but there'll be no billing on this until after May 1st. So we're gonna carry that because, again, it's currently not budgeted in the current cycle, so it'll be after May 1st we'll do it. But this allows us to get the meters in the ground so we can capture the spring rains.
And it's my understanding with conversation that we're gonna put about 8 meters in approximately?
I did, I actually looked at it, if you look at your, the last page actually shows the map. I was incorrect, it was actually 6 basins, is
Okay,
targeted.
6?
Yep.
Okay. I'll make a motion to approve ordinance 26.
And real quick, Liz, we did put that in the budget, right?
Yes, we
Yeah,
did.
it's for next year, correct?
Yeah, it's there.
2027. I'll second that.
Commissioner Reading,
Yes.
Commissioner Michael,
Yes.
Commissioner Dixon,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
Mayor Lyons,
Yes.
motion carries.
And that's the only thing I have at this point. I know later on there's a MFT resolution, I can chime in later on if you want me to.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have, Mayor.
All right, thank you. Again, we were just talking, I forgot to ask you, any word on that sidewalk grant, anything?
They have not released any of that stuff yet. I think it's typically April is when you start hearing from Safe Routes to School, so we're keeping an eye out for IDOT. Again, we're chasing any kind of grants we can find at this point in time. We're still hoping that we'll have a favorable response from IDOT, but as soon as I know something, I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you. City Attorney,
I have an ordinance regarding a professional services agreement with RVI Planning and Landscape Architecture. This is a proposal from them to provide the final design services for the Braidwood Town Center project. It's funded by the OSLED grant that we received. $600,000 grant would be applied to that. Scope of the program is development, grant implementation, design documentation, bidding support, and construction phase services, coordinated with Robinson Engineering. The total cost for the project is $1,524,100, with the city responsible for $924,100. $600,000 of that would be covered by the grant. RVI's portion of the compensation would be $130,000. The project would be completed, must be completed by spring of 2028, with quarterly reporting required for reimbursement. approval of this agreement requires, or authorizes RVI to begin work within 2 weeks. So I am requesting a motion to approve 2618, authorizing the city of Braidwood to enter into and for the mayor of Braidwood to execute a proposal for professional services and a professional services agreement with RVI Planning and Landscape Architecture. And I believe this is the same landscape architecture firm that we've been working with since the start. They have a name change because they were bought out
Yeah,
by
they
a
were bought
different
out.
company, but it's the same people, Hitchcock.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Weeding?
No.
Commissioner Walsh?
No.
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Reports by city commissioner, accounts and finance.
Okay, first, I will make a motion to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $162,662.54.
I'll second.
Okay, included in that is API Energy Electric for $4,500, Amazon Capital Services. This is miscellaneous supplies and equipment for $3,200. That's all the departments. BNF inspections, 28, the Blue Cross Blue Shield April insurance at 22,000, Braidwood fuel, 3,000, Fisher Auto Parts, 2,400, Hatch maintenance service agreement for water and sewer, 56, Hawkins chlorine and chloride, 4,400, accounting firm, 12,700, Midwest Salt, 8,700, Nicor Gas, 4,200, Postmaster water bills, 3,000, Stewart Spreading sludge disposal, 33,000, Uline for new conference table and chairs, 4,300, and Westcom, 13,000.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Commissioner Weeding?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
I would like to make an motion to approve payroll in the amount of $95,081.12.
I'll second.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Commissioner Weeding?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, I do have two resolutions and an ordinance, but first I'll just go, my report's really short. We're still, the 2027 budget is final, fingers crossed. I gave it to the accountant today and promised him I would not touch it again. And it'll be on display at City Hall, city website, and city's Facebook page this Friday, March 27th through April 27th. And the budget hearing is hopefully will be scheduled for April 28th, 2026, so that we can get it in place before May 1st. The full year 2020 or 25 audit is coming along as expected. Everyone's is answering the questions from the auditors as they come in. Hope it's on schedule to be done by June, which it has to be so that we don't get in trouble with the comptroller. And that's about it for that. Okay, I have an ordinance amending, I'd make a motion to approve an ordinance amending the water and sewer service rates for 2026. Before you is an ordinance amending the water and sewer rate for 2026. Section 86-197 of the city code currently provides for a 4% annual increase effective each May 1st. The proposed ordinance modifies the May 1st, 2026 increase to 2% instead of the 4%, beginning May 1st, 2027, with each May 1st thereafter rate adjustment will revert back to being governed by Section 86-197 of the city code. This adjustment is being recommended as being in the best interest of the city and its utility users.
I will second that.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Commissioner Weeding?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, I also have a resolution 26-4 for full year 27 MFT street resurfacing projects. So the city has indicated a desire to continue with annual roadway repair improvement program. In the past few years, staff has selected a couple of known problem roads for repairs with funding coming from general accounts. In late 2025, early 26, a capital improvement plan was put together to look at capital needs for the next 5 years. One of the programs included in the CIP was roadway maintenance. Leveraging the 2024 pavement assessment survey, a group of streets were prioritized for improvement after confirming absence of conflict for utility work. In 2026, the city desires to address it's not 4, it's 3, which may be reduced pending final estimates. The city has indicated the funding for roads will be allocated from MFT. Attached is the paperwork for the full year 2027 MFT general maintenance section, which includes streets, as well as road salt, street lighting, energy, and miscellaneous patching services. We recommend approval of the MFT appropriation resolution in the amount of $684,000 and the MFT engineering agreement. Additional forms documents have been prepared to initiate the program with IDOT. However, these will simply need the clerk and/or mayor's signature later on the documents and do not require council action. We will commence with preparation of bid documents, which will need to be approved by IDOT. However, no billing will occur until after May 1st, 2026 with the next budget cycle. So, you wanna put your 2 cents in there?
Nope, that's correct, you did it, that's exactly right. Again, the idea is, we have to appropriate monies basically used from the MFT account. And the MFT accounts are specific items that they list. Streets being one of the items you can grab, road salt, street light, energy, miscellaneous patching materials. So we worked with staff, with Liz, to try to figure out what the city wanted from a budgeting standpoint for the roads to be taken care of, for what we need for salt, and for the various items. We're trying to put all that stuff together into one resolution to IDOT. We'll go out, the appropriation, basically, the resolution appropriates the money, that gets sent to IDOT, and then after that, we can start the process of actually looking at the specific streets. But then the city can then spend money, once that approves it, the city can spend money on road salt and things along those lines in the next budget cycle, which is after May 1st. It's May 1st to April 30th and 27. So this is just basically appropriates the money so you can actually use it, and you just have to track everything, how we're doing. The idea is we're gonna try to do 4 streets. We're gonna go out and get quantities for everything else. Hopefully we can fit them in the budget. What we have available, if we can't, we'll cut a street. But the idea is trying to grab those 4 streets as much as we can at this point.
Yes, Dale?
Second. I didn't know if you made the motion or not.
Yeah, I did.
Commissioner Dixon?
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh?
Yes.
Commissioner Weeding?
Yes.
Commissioner Michael?
Yes.
Mayor Lyons?
Yes.
Motion carries.
You done?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, streets and public improvements.
Nothing to report, Mayor?
All righty, thank you. Warren, public buildings and property.
You talked about the well, we're hopeful within a week to 10 days to resolve those issues. We're in the process of redoing the roofs at the water plant building, the storage building, and a small sludge building. They're in process, they're making great time on it. Possibly by this Friday, they'll complete that project. That's all I have, man.
Oh, that'll be done by Friday, huh?
They're hoping.
Good. Public health and safety.
I got 2 things, Mayor, thank you. The Braidwood Police Department Activity Report for March 10th through March 23rd, 2026. We had a total number of calls of 283. Case reports, we had 27. Total subjects arrested were 9. Total arrest charges were 21. We had a total 92 traffic stops, 47 citations, 53 written warnings, 3 semi-truck violations, and total number of P tickets were 17. And for the code enforcement, for abandoned and improper vehicles brought into compliance on private property, we had a total of 8, and by tow was 0. So everybody's in compliance, it's been going really well. Yeah, that's all I have, Mayor, thank you.
All right. Anybody from planning and zoning here? All right, anybody old business?
I'm just curious about this Osland grant. I know we're gonna get $600,000, and it's a match grant, so we have to spend at least $600,000 to match that grant, correct? And I'm wondering, we're looking at almost $1 million on top of that to build your new park. And I'm curious, how much money have you guys thought about investing in our current parks that need upgrade and new equipment? And I'm curious about, is there any funding for that?
Well, that's in the park district, so if you
I'm
remember.
talking about our 3 parks on the city property. Is there any?
We have no city parks, right? No.
No?
There's no city.
2,
Just the zoo.
the zoo, that's it.
Would you like to see us invest money into the zoo?
I would like to see some of the money go into the park district. I know we got the 1% tax.
We are, but you voted no for that, didn't you?
I wanted to talk about other options, and that conversation has never been had, Todd.
Huh?
That
So what are other options?
That's what I'm asking you, do we have any other options?
So one of the options was to improve our parks. So one of the things we want to do is a grocery tax, so we decided to funnel the grocery tax. Also, maybe that it will keep people shopping in town to go to the park district for projects. And you voted no for both. But we did budget for the park, city park. But I think we also budgeted 3.1 million for infrastructure also. So we're taking care of the needs of Braidwood,
Understood, thank you.
okay?
The Mitchell Street Park, the park district?
Mitchell Street
Where the
Park.
pond is, right there?
The pond? Is that what you said?
The lake where the fishing
That's
pier
right.
is, it's all
That's the
fenced.
pond, yeah,
That's ours.
that's the city, yeah, that's the pond, yeah.
That's one of our parks.
No, well, I don't know if you'd call it a park, it's a pond,
What would we call it?
a pond
It's a
with a
walking
fence
path
around,
around
yeah.
it. There's a walking path
It's
around it.
actually, it's for overflow in the rain, ain't it?
Just curious. That's all I have, Nick.
Okay. New business. Anybody got anything for new business? So, Sean, and maybe, this is kind of for everybody, maybe it's for like a committee of a whole, but something I'd personally like to talk about. So if we're gonna do 4 roads, how much more does it cost us to maybe do 1 or just 2 roads at a time to maybe curb, gutter, and sidewalk whenever we do a new road?
I could put numbers together for it, but typically you're gonna dig out. If you were installing, you're gonna have to dig out the area next to it and pour
Mhm.
concrete. Replacement for curb and gutters generally can be, depends on the quantity you've got for contractors, but it's not uncommon to see contractors charging $55 a foot on that one. So that's probably a good bet, somewhere in that area, $55 to $60 a foot. So if you figure it's 500 foot, you could be talking $40,000 just in concrete alone on that.
So not replacement, just to add curb and gutter. Say if we're gonna do a road and there's no curb and gutter.
Yep. We can certainly look at stuff like that, but again, that's part of a construction section, that becomes a little bit more than what we're typically doing. And when you start talking curb and gutter, you wanna really look at that, because you wanna make sure you're gonna be concentrating the flow now. Well, the flow would just run off into the ditches on the side, now it's gonna actually, you're gonna have to make sure you've got the high point so that it actually just doesn't sit in the curb and start damaging your pavement. You
Yeah.
wanna make sure it can get to some point where you can spin it off, either through, a drainage structure and or just spill out into a ditch somewhere. Just something you need to look at. But I would say as a general, probably figure about $60 a foot to do something along those lines. We can
Yeah.
certainly start looking
You
at
represent a
that.
bunch of different communities. Do
Yep.
a lot of communities, when they're doing new roads,
Mhm.
are they adding storm and sewer and curb and gutter?
A lot
When
of,
they do a new road.
a lot of them are urbanized, so they already have it. So,
And
it's,
we don't have it.
yeah,
in
I've
our
seen a
town
mix,
city.
I've seen a mix in some areas. I've seen some that will add it. Typically, it's for a beautification process. Hey, we wanna focus on an area. It's a targeted kind of approach more than anything else. It's like, hey, let's start and look in this area. Years ago, I was involved with a community that basically had a historic downtown area. A lot of areas were done, but they were not curb and gutter in that area. And it was a pretty substantial project. I mean, we're talking 2007 was like a $3 million on one side, and it was another $2.5 million on another area, because You have to dig all the streets out because you have to get the driveways to pitch and the yards to pitch to the curb. It's a pretty substantial investment. Adding curb and gutter, it's really a targeted kind of thing. You have to think about where you might want it. And then you've got maintenance costs in the future for curb and gutter. It's not a bad thing to have. It backs up the edges a lot better. That's one of the things we're trying to do now is when we do these projects, we're trying to add shoulder stone to actually help protect some of those edges so you don't break out and break off and everything else. But yeah, it's something we certainly can look at. You know, if nothing else, we can certainly price it out, say, hey, this is what we think this will cost from a preliminary budget standpoint, and have that discussion before we decide what we're actually gonna do for that street. Yeah, we can do that going forward.
Maybe else have an opinion on that.
I know that it would be, you know, you have to have a grade, like Sean was explaining. The water's gotta go somewhere once you put curb and gutters in. Will the city sustain it? Is there drainage in that area for the water runoff if you do curbs and gutters? Those type of questions.
I mean, and really one of the things you wanna look at is, as you're looking at targeted areas where you wanna do this, you wanna make sure from a holistic standpoint, you first look at it, how does this area drain? Because we're gonna now concentrate flow. So we have to make sure that we have ditches that can convey it and or storm structure or storm sewers. We gotta make sure it has an ultimate drain. You know, there's a few drains in the city that actually get some depth as they go further north, but some of them are kind of shallow further south. So some of those areas might need a storm sewer improvement project to make sure that you can convey it. So you wanna make sure that you analyze that and size everything to handle that, because what you don't wanna do is just start putting in curb and gutter in areas and then create bigger problems down the road.
Yeah,
That's the
absolutely,
biggest
yeah,
fear.
yeah, and that's why, I don't know that.
Yeah,
I know, like, I think Lockport, they curb and gutter their whole city, and it looks great.
yes.
I don't know if it fixes our drainage problems here, or if it makes it worse, I don't know that.
Yep.
You know.
I mean, it will in some areas. In some areas where you have very shallow ditches, yes, that can help, because you're lowering the road and you're actually putting the water to the road. You just now have to make sure you have an outlet point where that water can eventually get
In a
out.
place like Lockport, they're on a good grade,
Yeah.
so they have a natural drainage anyway to the river.
And if you're doing digging, we have 4+ miles of road with 4-inch
Right.
pipe down there, so if you're doing digging and maybe a road that needs improvement there.
The water line
Pipe too, that
upgrades would
might
be.
something.
And that's what we had done before. In the community I was mentioning, that's what they did. They're recognizing we're gonna dig out the roads and everything else. The sanitary was generally in good shape in a lot of locations, but the water main all had to go out. Had to replace all the water main, had to put in storm sewer network, curb and gutter and roads and everything else. And then you start looking at the pavement section to make sure that you've got something that lasts for the long haul. It's just kind of a balancing act, that's all. It's not a bad thing to do.
In
It's
your
just-
observation, Sean, these 4 streets we're talking about, I believe there's 4. Is it something we looked at, what water lines are underneath, do they need replacement before we pave these streets?
Yes, the streets that were chosen were specifically chosen for that purpose. We looked at for the 5 years, we identified a whole bunch of streets that were in that ranking, and then we said some of the streets, hey, well, we'd love to do Eureka, we can't do Eureka because we're gonna be doing water improvements on that, so that's pushed off down the
I thought
roads.
so.
Yep, that's what we looked at.
Thank you, Sean.
Yeah, I saw the report, it's nice, so hopefully we can get to the 4 streets this year.
Yeah, I think we can squeeze it, I'm hoping.
All right, thank you.
Mayor, you were asking about you were talking about the truck signs.
Yeah,
Uh, If they're along state routes,
yeah, we gotta get a
Yes,
permit, yeah.
Yeah, because we have had signs removed because
Yeah,
IDOT
yeah.
didn't get approved.
Chris, how's that process with I got their permits? Lengthy.
Like that.
It's a blight.
Not easy.
Yeah, so yeah, well, if it's on a state road, we'll have to get a night out permit. Executive session, anybody got anything for executive session? Okay, no. Okay, so our next, city council meeting will be Tuesday, April 14th at 7 PM. Our next committee of a whole meeting will be Tuesday, April 14th at 6:30. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Commissioner Michael,
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh,
Yes.
Commissioner Dixon,
Yes.
Commissioner Weeding,
Yes.
Mayor Lyons.
Yes.
We have adjourned.
All right. Go Sox. I guess
Yeah, like